You remember when you guys were out here riding bikes and you didn't want to wear your helmets and you only did it just because I wanted you to, and then Amber came right out ahead of you and you fell and that big chunk came out of the back of your helmet? So when I first came to the center, I was pretty much on my own. My kids were in CPS care. In 36, that was our room. There was an exercise room there, and then our room, and then my friend's room. I was severely depressed. CPS had been called on when they got there. I was severely depressed, and I had severe social anxiety, and I couldn't really even talk to them. And I found out later from the therapist that the reason they had removed them immediately without giving me any chance to correct anything was they felt that I was slow, low functioning and didn't have the mental capacity to safely take care of children. And I would love to argue and say that they were completely wrong, but I probably was kind of slow, low functioning. I was so depressed, it was like trying to think through tar. I had a CFT and I was told that my rights were going to be severed to my kids, that it would probably start at the next hearing.
I remember that very well. My neck is still
I didn't have any of my kids with me. I walked around with my hair in front of my face and a giant book bag that had my whole life in it. And I wore size 4 to 5X clothing, and I was probably smaller than I am now. I was hiding.
I'm so proud of you. I really am so proud of you.
But the women there were the first thing that helped me. It's really difficult to tell women that are going through it or have just gone through it that there's no way to get through it. And there's just something about having the support and the group of women, and the groups were very important. And the tough love too. I mean, there were times when I was told things I did not want to hear, but without them I wouldn't have been able to move forward. I got a lot of patience from this program too with my children. It felt like there was no hope and no chance before I got to the mission. At one point I remember coming to the point and thinking, even going through program, I'm not going to get my kids back, but maybe he's trying to get me back. I now get the opportunity to work with peers. I work with a nonprofit program where we help people get back into the workforce. And I get to work with a lot of women that have either gone through something similar to gospel or need to go through something similar. It's a wonderful blessing to be able to share that back and to be able to look back at where I once was and couldn't see that there was all this possibility, and now I feel like I'm living in the possibility. I don't always feel like a role model, but when they tell me I am, it's nice to be able to stop and go, yeah, I am quite a few more steps forward than I was when I started out, when I thought I couldn't take any more steps. And I attribute most of that to things I was able to learn at Gospel. I was able to reconnect with God and to remember to pray first and act second.
You've overcome a lot of obstacles, things that, challenges that just the trauma that you'd been through, and so I just really commend you for what you've done, and now to see you today and hear what you've accomplished. Love you, Peggy. Love you so much. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you.
If it weren't for the Gospel Rescue Mission, I don't know where I'd be, but I'm fairly certain I'd be there without my kids.
You should come here because they will feed you, and they have a program so you can get through housing again and get back in the workforce. if they're scared about it, that I had a lot of fun memories here, and I think they would too.
I really was at the end of my case already, and even with the mission, it's nothing but a complete miracle that my kids were able to come back with me.